have, I believe, 2 properties. Is that correct? And you're currently paying 2 mortgages. Is that correct? Okay, wonderful. Okay, so that's probably taking a little burden on you. I'm going to assume, and she did mention to me that you're going to try to rent this out, this property out to a tenant. Going right now, have you been able to find a tenant, or are you in the process of finding one? When do you plan on looking for a tenant? Start putting up the ads out there. Perfect. Well, let me tell you a little bit about so I just had so we buy probably about, I would say, 5 to 10 properties a month in different states. So I just talked to a seller that was in the same situation as you are. I had the property on market, property expired, and we went ahead and purchased this property. Now, did you get a chance to look over the letter of interest that we had sent over to you? So can I explain to you a little bit about the structure and how it worked out for our other seller? Explain in very easy terms. Number one, we're going to go through a title company and an escrow company. So it's all going to be legally done and recorded. The way that our LOI was structured was that we were going to give you $20,000 net to you. We were going to cover all the closing costs. We were going to cover all the transfer taxes. So as you know, Florida has pretty high closing costs and transfer taxes. We were going to cover everything. We're also going to take care of Deborah, so you don't have to pay Deborah. And what we were going to do is create a note in your name that we owe you $59,000. So you're basically the bank. You become the bank. You have a lien on title. And we make payments to you every single month of $190 per month. And what's going to happen is we have 3 exit strategies. So number one, we sell the house. When we feel if the house goes up in value and there's enough profit, we would sell the house. Number two, we would cash out refinance and pull our money out, and that's when you get paid off as well. Or number three, we work with hedge funds. And a lot of times these big hedge funds would call us and say, hey, what do you guys have in this area or in this county? Our investors are looking for 10, 20 properties. And then we sell off a bundle of our properties to them. And one of those properties could be yours. The average time frame that we keep properties is probably around 7 years. It could be less or it could be a little bit more, but you're always going to be protected with your deed of trust that is going to be on the actual title. So you're going to have a position on there. So you're going to be 100% protected, and you're going to see that in the paperwork. And what we're going to do is we're going to take over your existing mortgage. We're going to set it up, and what we do is we set everything up through a third-party servicing company. So we don't even take care of the payments. A third party does, kind of similar to like what the big banks do. They use third-party servicing companies. So when payments are made, you as the seller, you are going to be notified every single time a payment is made on your mortgage and every single time a payment is made to you. And with that being said, once the deed's recorded in our name, you do not have to worry about taxes because we're responsible for your property per legal of the county. We're responsible for the maintenance of your property. We're responsible for any tenants, and we're responsible for any sort of damages or insurance claims that ever were to happen. But we also get our own insurance. We get our own landlord policy insurance. So everything that we do is put together and done and goes through escrow. And our typical closing time frame on something like this is right under 30 days. And you are also going to be, and if you ever want to buy another property, if you ever choose to buy another property, you would also have the option to purchase another property because we can go ahead and show that we've made payments on your mortgage and it came from a third party. Good idea. So we actually have a lot of different exit strategies. So either we would do a long-term rental lease, We also work directly with hospitals. So we place travel nurses in these homes. And we also work with insurance companies. So, when, like, let's say a house is flooded or something happens, or the house is burned down or something happens to the home and the family's displaced, and then the insurance has to find them a home for the time being while it gets remodeled. So we also do that. We place families in our homes from insurance companies that have claims on their homes. So we have a lot. So that's the thing, is that we have a lot of different exit strategies that we can go for. And I was also going to ask you, because I don't think I asked Deborah, but are there any restrictions on rentals in your association? Okay, so then the other thing is, a lot of what we do have is we have a lot of snowbirds that we work with. Are you familiar with what a snowbird is? Okay, perfect. Okay, so we work with snowbirds a lot. We have a huge list of snowbirds from the Midwest, and they'll fly in and they'll sign leases for us for 6 months, sometimes 8 months, and we'll rent out the property to them as well. So we have a lot of different things that we can do with the property. Once we close on the property, our team that takes care of that, they're the ones that do that, and they're the ones that decide what the property is going to do for us on year one. Say it sounds too complicated. Where is the complication coming from on your mind? House, right? So we're going to be the owner of the house, and we're going to take care of it. And if we need to do any repairs, we take care of it. You don't take care of anything. So all you do is literally you get full price for your property just like you want it. You don't have to worry about tenants. You don't have to worry about repairs. You don't have to worry about mortgage payments. And once we refinance or sell the property, you get a huge bundle of money. And every single month we're still going to make a payment to you. It's actually it's not complicated at all. Once you see how easy this is, because remember, we don't go through underwriting. We don't even do an appraisal on your property. We don't even ask you for any repairs. Nothing. So all we're going to do is send out one or two of our capital partners to your property just to make sure it looks like in the pictures. And once that happens, we get everything into escrow, we open title, and then we also have a transaction coordinator that takes care of everything for us, and they're going to work directly with you. And they're gonna work directly with you, and you don't even have to do anything. You just have to provide a couple documents and be present with the emails. That's it. And then literally within 30 days we have a closing, and we don't even go through the bank. So there's no banks involved. So we don't have to go through underwriting. We don't have to go through sending in conditions to the banks. None of that. So it's literally 100% closing for you without any complications. To tell you, I would say sure, sell it traditionally, get all your equity out. That's exactly what I would tell you to do. So I am basically like a second option for you, right? I'm a second option for you not to have a headache with landlords and management companies and sending handymen out and doing all that stuff that you probably don't want to do, right? Or tenants not paying. I'm sure you don't want to deal with that. I sent over Deborah our proof of funds. She can show it to you. We have plenty of money in the bank account. So if anything were to happen, we're fully protected. We can, if there's any damages or anything, like, we have plenty of money in the bank account to fix anything or to do anything. And all you have to do is sit back, relax, not worry about it, collect your paycheck every single month, and then when we refinance or sell the house, you get a huge chunk of money. It literally just comes to you by mail of a check. If we did seller financing, I'm just giving you an example here because I have that you owe about $320,000 on the property. So we would do seller financing for, let's say, about $60,000, right? So we're making payments of $190 a month to you. So if we sold the property in 5 years, you would get whatever would be left over from the $59,000. So let's just say we would pay you up to at that point maybe up to 5 or 6 thousand, so you would get a